Giving it a few minutes. Guys, I don't have an identical twin. To the best of my knowledge, that guy's not even part of my family. It's not 420, Father. I know, I couldn't wait around. My husband has money. Great quote. Rip, Lenny, and Emma. And Brad's second marriage. It's not really my music. I just put on alternative on my cable. What do you call this? On my cable system, we have Stingray Music and channel 1565 is adult alternative, whatever the hell that means. Do you ever do upright rows? No, I've never liked that exercise, even when I was in 8th grade, lifting for the very first time. What's up, Jay? Greetings from Brighton, Michigan. I used to ski Mount Brighton all the time as a kid. We used to go to midnight skiing at Mount Brighton. They would have like skiing from like midnight to like 5 in the morning, and it was cheap. When was your last drink? Christmas Eve. Oh, wait a second. I fell off the wagon Friday. I made it. I went 30 days without drinking, and I'm probably going to do it again. Thoughts on McCuck's sickening overload of beard dandruff? Maybe he should get a hold of Brad and get some beard butter. You are in drugs. I don't know what the hell fuck that's supposed to mean. Just started TRT at 40 and noticed I stink when I sweat. Yeah, that's part of when your hormones are optimized, you're going to be more manly, which means more odor. Have you tried fentanyl? No, but I've been given it by paramedics and in the hospital by doctors. I love taxes. That's a really stupid statement. I don't like taxes. Your taxes go to single mothers and the descendants of our slaves. Can I inject test into my anus? Absolutely. Wait, are you black? Should child support be a mandatory thing? No, because child support laws were created decades ago when women weren't fully integrated into the workforce. And a divorce could put a woman and her child into extreme poverty. There were some very sad situations, very cruel men who, didn't care about their wife, their ex-wife, and their child that they had together, and they lived in poverty. See, because of a few assholes, the government had to step in. Now child support is out of control. Women are fully in the workforce. There's no excuse to have child support nowadays. Women should be working. I mean, right? This so called identical twin of mine, it's funny. I'm definitely an only child. And he's definitely not a first, second, or third cousin. Do you feel sorry for LGBTQ fans now that Trump is in power? No. They've still got basic human rights. They just don't have homosexual rights. George Rockwell says Bradford always loses. Not necessarily. What if he's the big winner with what went down between him and the Taco Queen? I mean, he gained his freedom. But unfortunately, I have a feeling that Brad has probably already replaced the Taco Queen. He's probably got a new gold digger moving in. What is your test level at, Jay? Very low. I'm currently only doing 150 a week of test, which is fucking horrible. But mm, wouldn't sign the papers unless I knew it was my kid for sure. Yeah, that's why you should always get a paternity test. I've said that 100 times. Always get a paternity test. You know, while a woman is in recovery, go in there and grab some cells off that child. All you need is a lock of hair or some saliva. Get a if you're afraid of your old lady, get a paternity test behind her back for you cowards. Actually, you don't have to be a coward to do that. Women are so fucking evil. If you let them know you're doing it, they're gonna divorce you anyway. You lose so many rights when you have a child with a woman. You lose so many rights when you move them into your home. Detroit Lions fan, go blue. Hell yeah. I am India Punjab. I don't know what Punjab means. Mm, 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 mm. Avoid the fact that you abuse children. That's funny. Uh, mm, you got a boogie hanging. I don't see it. Uh, mm, I got my mm, Lenny's ghost visited me. He put a wig on me. Yeah. What did I train this morning? The bench press. When was the last time you saw Jason? Has to be over a year. Father, do you think the right side won World War II? I don't know how you could say that when the Russians and the Chinese came out of World War II stronger than ever. So did the USA, though. Yeah, but we could have joined the fascist and defeated the Soviets and then continued on to China and exterminated every single last one of them. After our forces in the Pacific defeated the Japanese and we defeated the Russians in Europe, we could have fought China on two fronts and exterminated that entire country. Imagine if there was no China and no Chinese people. If we just exterminated every single one of them after World War II, world would be a better place. Do you know Jenny Talia? No, I do not, but I want to. Never fight a war on two fronts. Yeah, well, we did in World War II. We had the Pacific Theater and the European Theater. Uh, would Nate still be around? I don't know. Gas went up about 30 cents in western Pennsylvania since the. Well, yeah, it's going to take a while for gas to come down. We haven't even started drilling on new permits yet. Hmm. There is nothing wrong with blacks or Asians. They are humans too. Dude, have you ever seen videos from Africa? They are subhuman. There's a reason that part of Africa they call sub Saharan. The region of Africa that's below the Sahara Desert is a complete shithole. I'm an ex airborne ranger, did 4 tours looking for Saddam. That's cool. 1st or 2nd Battalion, 75th Rangers, I assume. I thought a lot of those guys didn't have their airborne anymore. Thought they did most of their assaults out of helicopters. If you look at the world instead of. Oh, that's a good one. In Africa, question mark, just observe blacks in your local mall. Right. Malls are all getting torn down. Malls are going to be just a distant memory very shortly. Vance or DeSantis in 2028? I don't know. Too early to tell. DeSantis has got one thing going against him, and that's his really oppressive abortion law in Florida. I think Vance would be wise to kind of distance himself from abortion a little bit. I think over the weekend he marched in that March for Life or whatever he did. I'd be very careful of that if he wants to run for president. Mm. See, I'm somewhat soft on abortion, even though I'm a right winger. I think there should be a Planned Parenthood in every urban shithole in America. There should be a Planned Parenthood walking distance from every black ghetto in the United States. So when people accuse me of being a Republican, that's not exactly a Republican stance. Jay, how do you feel about Albanians? Um, I, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have much of an opinion on them. Isn't their mafia pretty brutal? But they've probably been persecuted by the Soviets for decades, so maybe that's why they're so brutal. Thoughts on the 454 Cassell? I've kind of given up on that round. It seems um, much more reasonable to try and fire a 444 Marlin out of a 410 shotgun. Emily wants to know if I like black people. I like seeing them in handcuffs. I know that. I mean, think about it. When you're driving down the road and you see a vehicle pulled over by the police, and you see black people sitting on the ground with their hands cuffed behind their back, doesn't that just make you smile? I love seeing them sitting on the ground, handcuffed, while the cops are searching their vehicle. Mm. Right, Chuck E. Cheese. The only black people I like are ones wearing a MAGA hat. If black people want to be left alone, put on a MAGA hat. I will be on your side in public. How do you feel about the KKK? I think they're ignorant. Jay's the type to wear thong sandals. You're 100% wrong. I own slides. They're around here somewhere. I could show them to you. You guys have never seen my slides, have you? Would you expect anything less from the bedroom bully than fucking Michigan slides? I do not wear thong sandals. I rest my case. Tell me those aren't badass slides. Thoughts on the occult? I find it interesting. I mean, I like watching documentaries on the occult. I don't know. I mean, what was your inspiration to start? I was just always fascinated by it. Emily wants to know my thoughts about Mexican people. I think they're part of North America, and as long as they're law abiding, we should protect Mexico with our military. Canada as well. I mean, if you know anything about history, you know about the Monroe Doctrine. It means you fuck with anybody in this hemisphere, you're fucking with the United States. So don't be confused that because I don't like illegal immigrants that I don't like Mexico. I think Mexico's great. I just think that the drug cartel have ruined relations between Mexico and the United States. Dollar General slides. Hardly, bro. I don't think you can get your team name on Dollar General slides. Jay, what are your thoughts on the USS Liberty incident? I'm not well versed in that. Wasn't that supposedly Muslim pirates? I don't know. I know there's all sorts of people that think that was an inside job to get us involved in wars that the American people didn't want to be involved in. But I really don't know the truth. Yeah, I still love Crocs, but Jay, what's your opinion on white women that have mixed children? Um, I- I'd like to send them to re-education camps. Mm. William Henderson said they're mud sharks. Absolutely. I don't know what a white girl could possibly see in a black man. What do you think about Arab countries? I think Arab countries are mostly two-faced. Um, they'll like Saudi Arabia is the perfect example. They will pretend to be your ally, but secretly they're funding terrorism. That's because there's no such thing as a moderate Muslim. They're all complicit in terrorism. They may claim they're a moderate Muslim, but if you notice, they're really not. Like, this is a great example. Like, say you're living in somewhere like Los Angeles or Philadelphia or some other urban shithole where there's a local cleric who's calling for jihad, and you ask a so-called moderate Muslim to criticize that imam or cleric, imam, I guess is a better word. They won't, because secretly they want that imam's agenda to be fulfilled. they might they might criticize an imam that's on the other side of the country, but they will never criticize a local imam. So that tells me there are no moderate Muslims. Tribalism is what caused most races to be distinct. Everyone has tribalism to a certain extent, regardless of race. Well, yeah, I mean, Jews often often refer to themselves as the tribe, the Germanic tribes. Well, I never said Jared Kushner was a good person. I don't know much about him, but I mean, capitalism will make for strange bedfellows. Mm. Jay, can you go into further detail about the always eating French fries while driving theory? Well, I have a theory that black men will often use a Dodge Charger that's in their girlfriend's name to drop her off at her job. And while she works, he just drives around eating French fries because he ain't got his own money. So he probably scrounges through the cup holder, comes up with enough coins to get a fry, and they like driving through drive-throughs anyway because when they pull up to pay, they get to talk to their own people. and they see that they're in a Dodge Charger, and they flirt with the cashier at Burger King or McDonald's or wherever they're at. That really boosts their ego, flirting with a fast food cashier in a Dodge Charger. Jay, what's your opinion on Indians? Do you hate them? Dot heads or Tonto and Sacagawea? Which Indians are you talking about? I don't hate them. Either whichever one you're referring to, I don't hate. Trust. I don't trust the Dothead Indians at all. They will smile while they try and swindle you out of your last penny. Why are PMs in trucks always eating at the fuel pumps? I don't know, dude. They're a strange bunch. Have you ever noticed black truckers are always on their headset telephones too? Always on their phones. And they've got those stupid headset telephones. PMs are an interesting bunch. I mean, you could just study them for years and never really understand. I think that's because they're just silly. I mean, how are you supposed to really understand someone who's at the base level has just got a silly brain? Bro, I'm Saudi. The things you just said, just told the people is wrong. Okay, Saudis are great people. I really trust them. Saudis are a wolf in sheep's clothing of the Arab community. I think Saudis really embrace the American way. I hate it when people take their time crossing the street. Oh. Who walks anyway? Alcoholics and blacks. Much love from Gonorrheaville, Texas. Jay, what's the bench looking like nowadays? Oh, terrible. Just terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't even want to talk about any of my lifts. They're just terrible. I swear in the last 2 years I've lost all my strength. No, I don't do Lenny reps. I do full range of motion. That's why I can't handle heavy weight. Because I do everything proper. I can still throw around some big weights on back day, but that's about it. Oh, moving to Hawaii as a trucker? Well, even if you make good money, look at the cost of living in Hawaii. Father, ever meet a chick from Spain? Yeah, I'm not very impressed. Most European women think they're all enlightened and shit. I'm not into it. How many blacks does it take to change the battery in a smoke detector? That's great. None, because they don't do it. Dude, most new homes have smoke detectors wired right into the house anyway. Putting batteries in your smoke detector pretty much means you're an apartment dweller. Pro-abortion or pro-Palestine? Um, I'm only pro-abortion among minorities and the poor. What was your pickup line in college? You suck cock, whore? Father has twinkle in his eye since goodbye, Bradford. That's not true. I can't celebrate what happened to poor Brad, or maybe Brad did it all on his own. And I certainly don't ever expect Brad to say, Jay, you were right. I should have listened to you. I'm just happy for Brad because I'll bet he's already got a brand new one. He's probably training this one right. Because remember, when Brad met Valerie, he hadn't moved into his house yet. They kind of moved in together. So that was mistake number one. Now Brad's firmly established in his home. Now if he brings a new one in, it's going to be a totally different fucking situation. It's going to be his rules, his house from the get-go. Oh, what's that about sickle cell? Gross. Father, can you give us a theory of never eating off a black's plate? It's sickle celling. I don't think sickle cell anemia is contagious, but hepatitis is. And I think hepatitis runs rampant in the black community. Haven't you ever noticed how many of them have yellow in the eyes? We should all blame Pomps for the lack of mints. I wouldn't go that far. Pomps doesn't have control over anybody. Are you racist, Daddy? No, I'm a realist. Just turn on the 11 o'clock news and watch it with an open mind. Compare how many stories there are about blacks ruining everything around them. They never make anything better. All they do is destroy. How many fruit roll-ups did Pomps have this weekend? I have no clue. Does he eat though? Lenny's ashes have AIDS. That's true. I'd like to smoke some of Lenny's ashes. Put some of Lenny's mix some of Lenny's ashes in a joint. I wonder if Brad would do that. Maybe me and Brad could smoke the peace pipe with some of Lenny's ashes. What?